Okay, what up ladies and gents? My name is RealAsianRobot. I'm an official content creator for Crystal of Atlan, and today I'm going to be teaching you all about skills, alright, from a beginner perspective, and explain to you how they work in this game. I'm going to show you the skill system, how it all comes together, all that kind of stuff, alright? That being said, this is a guide aimed at beginners, so if you are a beginner to this game and you might be confused by the skill system or you may not know how to utilize it, this short video will teach you all the little tips, and things that you need to know. I swear, I'm a professional YouTuber. I don't fumble my words that much, all right? Now, let's get started. Here it is. Okay, the first thing that you need to understand is that skills represent your moveset in this game. The various skills that you have will decide how your character acts, how your character moves, and what kind of damage they can deal. Alright? The character combos that you can pull off, what you're seeing right there, is all decided by what skills you choose to set up. Alright? Over time, you will gain a bunch of skills, some of which you can chain to others. In fact, you can actually chain them pretty freely, which is really awesome, and I'll show you guys in a second. But how you set it up is basically going to decide whether you win or lose your fights, because a good setup of skills will allow you to have continuous attack chains on your enemy, alright, while still staying safe from damage. If you use an ineffective chain of skills, or you use skills that don't really mesh well with one another, you could end up very badly out of position, and certain challenging opponents will probably shred you. Alright, if you actually think about how you use your skills, you read into them, you understand how they work, how they come together, then you will always have an advantage in combat. Alright, let's take a look at the skill system right now. Alright, I'm going to show it to you step by step, so let's move on from this. Okay, what up ladies and gents? We are now back on my main Starbreaker, and I'm going to show you the skill system right from the start. Alright, so first and foremost, what you want to do is open up your menu. Alright, do you see skill up there? You want to hit skill, and this will be your skill tree. Every character has their own skill tree, and you can literally freely pick whatever you need. Now, you're going to gain a certain amount of skill points up top there every time you level up. I'm actually not sure how many you gain per level. If anyone knows, please put in the comments, because I'm totally new to this game. Like I said, these guides that I'm going to be producing are not only beginner guides, but also beginner guides from a beginner's perspective. As I play through the game, as I work through the game, I'm going to guide you along in the exact same way. That is literally my purpose as one of the official content creators for the game, and it's a style that I'm well known for in other games as well. So, let me explain what I know about the skill system and how it works. First, let me remove my green screen there so you can see it. Okay. When your character, like this is my Starbreaker, okay, your character can literally pick any skill they like. Whenever you want to level up a skill, okay, let's just set it back to 0. You hit the level up button. It will spend a certain amount of skill points, and it will tell you the level required there for the skill to level up again. But you will spend a certain amount of points, so in this case, it's costing me 2 skill points to level this up. And your skill is leveled up. This is an active skill. There are also passive skills in the game that you can get. But for active skills, you have to actually press the configuration button and set them. So this skill, let's say I want it in slot 3, I'll put it there. Okay, this allows me to use this particular skill in slot 3. When a skill is connected to another, it usually means that this is either a passive power-up or an active power-up for a skill. It can depend. All right. In this particular case, this is a passive power-up for the Morning Star. The Earth-Shaking Morning Star allows you to charge up your Morning Star, therefore dealing up to 80% extra damage at full charge. During the skill, you will also gain a shield equal to 25% of your maximum hit points, and you can inflict medium armor break, which is absolutely awesome. Alright, so let's level that up, and there you go. Now my Morning Star can armor break and will also be able to enhance itself by charging. Okay, so that's how that works. Now, if you want to remove points, you can just hit the downgrade button. There's no cost to it that I can see. Alright, it's not going to cost you gold or anything. Just hit the downgrade button, you get your skill points back. Alright, so spend them freely, experiment freely. Alright, now the next thing you need to understand is that some skills can chain to others. If you look at your configuration side, there is 1 and 2. Whatever is placed in 2 will come after 1. Makes sense, right? So let me just give you an example. Let's say I start with battering ram. Okay, so we'll put this in slot 1. Now, I've got an open slot above on slot 2, and these will unlock as you level up. But let's say I want this second skill, Stellar Impact. Okay, I'll level it up. I can actually put it above slot 1, meaning that if I first use Battering Ram, I'll be able to chain it into Stellar Impact. The best part about the system is that you can freely chain anything you like. Let's say battering ram, I want to chain it all the way with skill down here. Let's level up this one. I can actually put this skill right after battering ram. So right after battering ram, I can unleash a flaming hook uppercut if I so choose. All right? This is what you can do. This is the freedom of the skill system. You can configure this in whatever way you want. You have full freedom of choice. In fact, if you don't want these skills at level 1, you don't even have to have them. All right? You don't even have to have them. You can level freely, like, okay, I can now level my charged basic attack button. I can choose to level high energy particles, giving me more crits. Level it again as a passive. I can literally go after every single passive first, and then I'll take a look at my actives and be like, okay, so these are some pretty awesome actives. Oh, wow. At full charge, this deals 2 instances of damage, inflicts medium armor break. Okay, I really want this. It also gives me shield. Great. So I have this. But what skill am I going to chain into that? Wait, Starfall. Okay, this one gives me a shoulder rush. This one, allows me to jump and project myself. There's one that allows me to unleash a flurry of hooks. So maybe I'll use this as a base. So we'll have this set up here. Okay, and then we'll do a flaming uppercut after that. See? Full freedom. You don't even have to go in order of the tree. The only things that matter is that if this skill leads to another, then you need to have the base skill before you can activate the secondary skill. But again, you need to check and ask yourself, do you want to even activate the skill in the beginning? If you do not need the skill, you do not need to activate it. Now, one last thing I'm going to show you is presets. Did you know that you've got all these presets for free? You can set up your skills in different ways. Like you can have one for PvP, one for PvE. You can have one for general combat. This is my general combat skill setup for the Star Breaker. So I've got my skills set up like this. This is my ultimate. You can do whatever you like. Okay, you can do whatever you like. You can level up your skills anytime, and as you level up your skills, just to show you a quick example, all right, they will show you down here the increase in the damage that you'll gain. So from here, quick word on this, I go from 384% physical damage with 192% core amplification to 396 and 198. So if I level it up, it goes to the next level. All right. Level up the skills you need the most, but don't be afraid that if you find a skill later on that you really, really like and you want to find room for it here, you can just pop something else in, okay? So level up the skills that you use the most and that will help you deal the most damage. Don't be afraid to experiment because you can experiment freely. There are dozens of presets for you. You guys can pick a preset anytime. Like, I don't like this build so much. Let me go pick a different one. You can just do a different one in preset 3, and then you can compare. You can literally compare the two. There's one last thing that you can do. Did you know that you can also use the recommended build? It'll give you a recommended build for your character that will show you a particular configuration for your character. And the main important thing to understand is that, okay, so now this one is my rush skill, is my gap closer. Then, oops, sorry. So on skill 1, I've got this uppercut here. You can just choose to follow that. So this gives me my uppercut here, which then transforms into the blazing kick, which will soul and gather enemies right after my uppercut. I find that a little bit weird. I'd rather gather them up and then uppercut them. But again, you've got full freedom to, swap around, switch around, do whatever you want. Like I said, the world is your oyster. You don't have to, oh, sorry, man, I cannot trade with you. But yeah, you don't have to limit yourself. You don't have to feel limited. You don't have to feel like you can only do certain things or don't do this or don't do that. The world is your oyster. Do whatever you want. All right? In fact, I might even rename this to recommended and try it out later. This seems like a very interesting way to play the game. So I will definitely be trying out the recommended skill set and see how it functions. But for now, ladies and gents, that brings me to the end of this guide. I hope it helps you guys out. All right, if you get confused, try the recommended build. If not, you can do your own build. Do whatever you want. Have freedom with your moveset and have fun. I will see you guys on the next one. Once again, I'm an official content creator, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, and I'll see you on the next video. Y'all have a good one, and welcome to Crystal of Atlan. All right? I'll catch you later. Don't do anything weird while I'm gone.